Casper Dolberg nearly joined the boys during the summer transfer window but opted for a return back to his former club Ajax. We will discuss what he has said about Celtic, whilst of course going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Former Celts defender Charlie Mulgrew has weighed in on the planned supporter protest at Rugby Park, where fans are set to delay their entry until the 12th minute against Kilmarnock. The action, organised by several groups, is designed to send a clear message to the Celts board amid rising unrest. Mulgrew, who spent 6 years at Parkhead, says he understands why fans are choosing to make their voices heard. He believes the board must take notice of the growing frustration and respond to the concerns that have fueled anger across the support. The 12-minute protest has divided opinion, with some worried about its impact on the players. Mulgrew admitted it will be unusual for the squad to begin a match without full backing from the stands, but said he respected the supporters' decision. He said, "I think they need to be heard. I think we've said it clearly, the fans deserve to be heard and for their opinions to get across to the board and the board to kind of respond. These are the things that happen at football. If this is what they choose to do to be heard, then fine. It'll be a strange experience for the players though." Mulgrew's comments capture the tension between the need for supporters to express their frustrations and the desire to back the team on the pitch. The players, he suggested, may find the early minutes unsettling without the usual noise from the away end. The protest comes at a time when Celts fans are united in their anger at the board, citing a poor transfer window, lack of ambition and a public statement that has only added to discontent. For Mulgrew, the priority now is for both sides to find a way forward. The board cannot ignore the voices of supporters, and the players must be shielded as much as possible from the unrest in the stands. Sunday's protest at Rugby Park will be another defining moment in a turbulent spell for Celts. Whether it forces the board into action remains to be seen, but the message from the fans will be impossible to miss. Now, for the main story, as former Celtic target Casper Dolberg has explained why he rejected a move to Glasgow this summer, insisting that once Ajax came calling, nothing else mattered. The Danish striker had been heavily linked with Celtic in the final weeks of the transfer window, with Brendan Rodgers eager to bring in a replacement after Adam Ida's departure. Negotiations between Celtic and Anderlecht were reported to be at an advanced stage, but Ajax's late intervention changed the entire picture. For Dolberg, the chance to return to Amsterdam, where he first made his name, was too significant to ignore. Dolberg, now 27, came through the Ajax system and played 4 seasons at the Johan Cruyff Arena before leaving in 2019. His decision to re-sign with the Dutch Giants was rooted in familiarity, nostalgia, and the belief that the timing was right for him to go home. Dolberg made it clear that his heart was set on Ajax the moment the offer was made, leaving Celtic with no chance of persuading him otherwise. He said, "I wanted to go back home because it's Ajax, and because Ajax will always be something special to me, and it was the right time to do it. After I got the chance, I had no doubts. That was a very easy decision because I wanted to go to Ajax and nothing else mattered. In the Danish training camp, I had to stay focused, do my thing, and hope the clubs would reach an agreement. Unfortunately, I had no influence on that." Dolberg's comments show why Celtic had little chance once Ajax made their move. The Parkhead board have been criticised for not sealing the deal sooner, but the striker admits his mind was made up. For Celtic fans, it is another blow in a transfer window already seen as poor. Missing out on a top striker has left Brendan Rodgers short of firepower, increasing pressure on those above him. Dolberg, on the other hand, has secured a return to the club he calls home, while Celtic are left with another reminder of a chance missed in a window that has infuriated many. In other news, Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers will address the media at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon from Lennoxtown, with his side preparing for Sunday's trip to Rugby Park to face Kilmarnock. It will be his first press conference in almost a fortnight, and the timing could not be more significant given the issues piling up around the club. Rodgers last spoke publicly before the 0-0 draw at Ibrox, a result that came just days after Celtic's Champions League collapse against Kairat Almaty. Since then, much has changed. The summer transfer window closed with supporters furious at what they saw as a lack of ambition, while Adam Ida departed for Swansea and Casper Dolberg slipped through Celtic's grasp. The only reinforcement since deadline day has been the free agent signing of Kelechi Iheanacho, a player Rodgers knows well from their time together at Leicester. The backdrop to today's press conference is one of growing supporter unrest Fan groups have coordinated their efforts, with the 12 minutes without the 12th man protests set to take place at Rugby Park on Sunday. Thousands of fans are expected to delay their entry into the ground until the 12th minute, sending a powerful message to the board while still backing the players once inside. Rodgers will also be pressed on injuries, with Anthony Ralston spotted in a protective boot earlier this week after limping through the derby. With Alistair Johnston already sidelined for 3 months following a hamstring tear against Kairat, Celtic are suddenly stretched thin at right back, leaving 19-year-old Colby Donovan to shoulder responsibility. The Celtic manager is therefore set to face tough questions across the board. Supporters will be keen to hear how he views the transfer window, what role Iheanacho will play, and how the squad can regroup after a turbulent period. When Rodgers sits down at 1:30 p.m, his words will carry real weight. At a time when faith in the board is at its lowest, the Celtic manager must strike the balance of reassuring supporters while focusing minds on a tricky away trip. Celtic here will have full coverage as Rodgers faces the press. In other news, Chris Sutton has launched another stinging attack on the Celtic hierarchy, accusing the board of alienating the entire support with their handling of the summer transfer window. The former Hoops striker believes the frustration now spilling onto the terraces was entirely avoidable had the club acted decisively. Supporter anger has grown in recent weeks, fueled by a lack of movement in key positions, an early Champions League exit, and a statement from the board that only deepened discontent. With organised protests and boycotts now in motion, Sutton says the board's approach has left them with no one to blame but themselves. Brendan Rodgers and club captain Callum McGregor have already voiced concerns about squad depth, echoing the fears of many supporters. Sutton believes those warnings went unheeded, leaving the squad short and the fan base furious. He said, "They've succeeded in pissing off all of them. The summer transfer window was a slow-moving train wreck. Plenty of us, including the manager and club captain, were warned well in advance. You can't belittle supporters, talking down their noses and treating them like fools. They expect the club to give themselves the best possible chance to be successful, and that demonstrably hasn't happened. This time feels different. The wheels are already in motion with boycotts and protests and the like." Sutton's comments reflect the mood among the support, who feel ignored by a board accused of lacking ambition despite the club's financial strength. The refusal to properly strengthen the squad has become a flashpoint, with protests now spreading across multiple fan groups. His warning that this time feels different will strike a chord. For many, the anger goes beyond one poor window and cuts to wider concerns about strategy, leadership, and the long-term direction of the club. Celtic's upcoming fixtures are now being played in a unique atmosphere, with fans determined to show their discontent while still backing the players on the pitch. The planned walk-in protest at Rugby Park is the latest sign of a fan base willing to escalate action. For the board, Sutton's words only add to the pressure. The discontent is no longer a background grumble, but a full-scale movement. Unless there is a change in approach, the noise around Celtic Park will only grow louder. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.